Alright, good morning. This is the e-learning day lesson video for Math 1 for April 20th. Alright, so I was looking at your submissions for the homework from last week, and there are a lot of submissions that were not done appropriately. So what I want to do with today's video is go through the examples that we did last week again, re-emphasizing what I need from you for these problems for the homework. Then I'll give you guys a chance to resubmit your assignment so that you get a better grade. Okay, this is very important because later on this week we will be having kind of a quiz on this stuff, and so you want to make sure that you fully understand the requirements for these type of problems. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is, when you're given a figure and trying to prove whether or not it's a particular type of quadrilateral, you want to refer back to, again, the characteristics for that quadrilateral. And again, that's why this note sheet, from last week is very important, because we want to understand that when it comes to certain characteristics, what I am looking for you to do to communicate to me in terms of, are these characteristics being satisfied? Okay. So let's review again real quick what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm definitely, so a lot of you were just kind of submitting for me, like for a rhombus, for example number 3 from the homework, and you were just writing the words down. Okay, for the square, you were just writing the words, the characteristics down. Right? I'll remind you again, that all these examples that we did last week, this is what I'm asking you to show. Mathematically, you need to show me these characteristics. Like, for example, if you're going to tell me that your figure has opposite sides parallel, that means you are telling me the slope of the opposite sides. So you're going to the figure and you're going to determine what the slope is. Whether you rise over run or you do the slope formula, you need to tell me the slopes of those opposite sides. Again, for this example, I was looking for AB and CD, slopes of those sides because they're opposite. Rise over run, I got slope of 0 for AB, a slope of 0 for DC. Because they have the same slope, I know they're parallel. For AD, find the slope, rise over run. BC, rise over run. Then you're writing down the slope value, showing me that they're the same, and when they're the same, then you know they're parallel. So with this work, you need to show me, if you want to tell me the opposite side of your figure is parallel. If you want to show me that the opposite sides of your figure are congruent, that means you are showing the work somehow, some way, giving me the value of the length of those sides. Here I got AB, because it's horizontal, I can count the boxes as 6. DC, because it's horizontal, I can count the boxes, and it also has a length of 6. So the opposite sides are congruent. AD and BC are not horizontal vertical, so I can't just count the boxes. Therefore, I have to use Pythagorean theorem. So here I am showing the work how I got the length of those sides using the Pythagorean theorem. Alright, so again, I made my little right triangle here. This side is 4, this side is 2. Alright, so again, I'm showing, using the Pythagorean theorem, finding the length of this hypotenuse. Alright, side squared plus side squared, taking the square root of 20. Same thing for BC, because it's a side on a slant. I am showing the work where I'm using the Pythagorean theorem to find the length of that side. Once I show the work and verify yes, those opposite sides are the same length, I can check mark that characteristic, and I know that I satisfied the requirement for that figure. Let me go to this other example, number 2. I needed to prove that this was a rectangle. Again, there are 3 characteristics that you need to show or prove that a figure is a rectangle. So whatever the characteristics are, you have to show the work and how you know that is true. You cannot just say the opposite sides are parallel and not show me any proof of that. Okay, so again, when we look at part B, opposite sides parallel. So I am looking at side EF and side HG, EF, HG, and I'm finding the slopes of those 2 sides. Rise over run, they have the same slope, so they're parallel. I'm showing the value of slope. EH and GF, EH, GF, you want to show me the actual value for slope, rise over run, and when you show me they're the same, you know that those sides are parallel, so we can check mark that characteristic. For a rectangle, opposite sides are congruent. Because all these sides are on a slant, I have to show the work on how I calculate the value of the length for each of those sides. I'm using the Pythagorean theorem. I'm using the Pythagorean theorem to find the length of those sides. The last characteristic for a rectangle is it has 4 right angles. Because all of these are on a slant, I have to use that particular characteristic right here in our notes. 4 right angles. Consecutive sides are perpendicular, meaning the slopes are opposite reciprocal. So we are looking for the slopes of those consecutive sides for the right angle. So that's what this work is trying to show. Okay, let me find the slope of EF. Right, here's EF. Find the slope of EH. Here's EH. These are consecutive sides. And I want to see, is there a right angle right in here? Well, to find that, determine that, I need to compare the slopes of these 2 sides. The slope of EF, I'm showing is 6 over 8. EH is 9 over 7. But because they are not opposite reciprocal, again, for right angles, the slopes have to be opposite reciprocal. If that is not the case, then I do not have right angles. If they were opposite reciprocal, then I do have right angles there. Okay. So again, this is the case where you need to look for opposite reciprocal slopes for your right angles. Okay, so hopefully this clarifies what you need to do for this assignment. Again, the assignment for the end of last week was to do task, finish the task, do number 3, A and B. Then you try to prove it's a rhombus. Go to your note sheet, and what are the characteristics for a rhombus? And you need to show me mathematically how you satisfy those characteristics. And also you got to do number 4, proving that this is a square. So again, go back to your note sheet. Find the part where it lists the characteristics of a square and see mathematically, does this satisfy those characteristics? Again, you need to show the work. Okay, so again, I'm giving you guys another opportunity to finish this particular assignment. In addition, and some of you already did the Ready Set Goes. So that is also going to be part of today's homework. Okay, so the official assignment that I'm looking for submission by tomorrow is, okay, if you already did this, now if you already did this, all you gotta do is just resubmit it, resubmit the pictures. Okay, if you did it the way you're supposed to do it, showing me the work, then just go ahead and resubmit those pictures along with the ready, set, goes. Okay. Again, for this part of the assignment, for 3 and 4, you need to show the work. Okay? Very important, because, later on, right, I'm going to give you kind of a quiz on this stuff, so you need to make sure you understand what you need to do. There you go again. If you guys have any questions on this particular assignment, alright, please let me know. Alright, you guys have a good day.